Welcome back, everyone. My name is Alka Aneja, and I'm sitting here with Rshmi Kumar for Vastu with Rshmi. Rshmi, welcome back.
Thank you so much,
We
Alka.
are here talking to you. Rshmi is master's in computer science. She's practiced in computer science for 16 years, but started doing Vastu around 2 years ago, and then resigned her full-time position, and is now doing this full-time.
Exactly.
All right, so Rshmi is going to try and convert all the skeptics, because she's going to actually give us remedies for what Vastu can do for you to make your life smooth. So Rshmi, we're going to go back a little bit into what we spoke about last time. We spoke about Vastu Dosh, right? We were talking about Vastu Dosh last time. Yes. So talk a little bit more about that.
Okay. So in the last episodes, we did cover about the 5 element theories. And what are the 5 elements? What are the properties of the 5 elements? So the elements are the water, air, fire, earth, and space. Right? So now when it comes to Vastu Dosh, means anything which is elementally imbalanced. Now what does that mean in our house, right? So say for example, we take the example of a kitchen. Kitchen is a fire element, totally. Now if the kitchen is in the water zone, right? Now when you put a fire onto a water, you are creating an element imbalance. You're making the fire weak as well as the water weak.
Got it.
Now if you are not seeing any problems, your kitchen is in the north and you're not seeing any problems related to the job opportunities, you're not seeing any problems related to your emotions, if you're not seeing that, then it's okay to have it. But if you're seeing those kind of problems,
if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it.
Right.
That means the elements have balanced by itself somehow.
Right.
But if you are seeing such kind of problems, you are not able to get customers, you are not getting opportunities at work, you are not sure whether your job will last for too long, those kinds of problems are related to the water element. So that means you have created an imbalance there.
Got it.
So we living in US, it's not necessary that you start demolishing your kitchen and putting it into the fire zones.
Yeah, that was a really nice thing you said, that everything's got a remedy.
Exactly. So you do not have to go and start demolishing it. There are ways, scientific ways, to balance the kitchen also in the north. Yes, definitely. It won't give you the 110% results, 100% results as you get in the fire zone, but it will at least give you a balance where your problem gets solved. Our whole thing is about, let's move on, right? We don't want to be stuck with one.
Let's get life back on track, so to speak. Yes.
Exactly. So you want to move ahead, you can be balanced. So now the Vastu Dosh is what I'm saying is like, if your elements are not in sync. For example, you walk into somebody's house and the whole house is like yellow, right? Now you have created, now earth is yellow, considered to be yellow, then in that case there is too much of earth in the house. So now
then other elements are
getting imbalanced, because now you need to make sure that other elements are also popping up in the right directions.
So there is methodology almost in painting?
Yes. So color is the basic of Vastu.
Wow.
So when we are talking about the study of architecture, we are talking about what colors to use, what activities to do in a certain zones, like in a certain elements, right? If we keep that activity related to that particular element in that element itself, you will create a balance. Now, if you are putting that element in somewhere else, now that imbalance can be treated with colors.
Got it.
And that colors don't have to be you go start painting your house completely. It can be in the form of rugs, it can be the throw pillows, even the curtains, the accessories that you put in your house.
So again, everything can be remedied with.
It can be done.
Remedied with colors.
Remedied with colors. Naturally, if your house is an off-white color, it's like the slate, right? You get a clean slate. And then when you have to just try to change the colors, you're just changing the accessories of the room, and it is not costing you a lot of money there.
Right. So you tweak different colors based on different elements?
Yes.
Is that what it is?
So based on what elements are imbalanced, what activities are imbalanced, it can be done with the color therapy.
Got it. Okay.
So that's main Vastu thing that we have to do through color therapies, and that's why it's very feasible in US.
Right.
Right.
So because that's simple. Paint is easy.
And you wouldn't believe, most of my clients are like, you are saying if I do just this much, which is like a $2 remedy, and it will solve my problem.
Because you know why? Because That's what I was saying to you last time. Everybody scares you so much, right? That when you hear a simple solution to something, you think this can't be possible. How is this going to work? Because everybody's scared you so much, and you don't think something
I agree. I get what you're saying, but the thing is, these remedies are. That's why I moved on to this, because it's such an easy way to bring a smile on somebody's face.
Yeah.
And those remedies are like, okay, you come up with a problem. Your question itself tells me what elements are imbalanced.
Right.
And we only treat that area. If there is no problem, don't go crazy, start balancing your house with different colors, saying start moving things, okay? Certain times the energies of the house balance by itself.
Right.
If you have those 5 elements getting balanced, you are not having any problems. Don't start going and changing the house.
Again, don't mess things that are not broken.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that when you have a problem, we exactly know which part of the area of the house is giving you an issue. We only change that part. But again, going back to the tip that I gave last time, decluttering. That I would say there are certain kinds of things that everybody should practice, and this will just revive the energy of the house, right? Like decluttering, keeping things organized, making sure that your house is getting cleaned every single time. You will find out there are certain areas of the house which you keep dumping things in there.
Everybody has that dump room.
Yes. You will realize that you start seeing the issues related to that area of the house. Because now you're creating a clutter there.
That's right. Yeah, so that area is being weighed down, so to speak.
Weighed down, yeah. So the color, the techniques, the energy, now even we see, right, when we go to the Indian temples, right, in India, those temples are built as per Vastu. So the minute you walk into that thing, you feel peaceful, your brain waves drop, okay? So
like the vibration we were talking about,
yes.
Right?
So it's, again, I'm going back to the scientific thing, right? Anybody who has a higher brain waves feel very anxiety. So when some of my clients did mention that, as soon as I walk into my house, things start going like very aggressive. I'm very calm at office. I'm very good with my colleagues. But as soon as I walk in, something is there where it affects me, or even the kids actually. The kids, some parents say that my kids don't want to go home. They want to be outside the whole time. So it's the energy of the house that attracts or it repels you, or it brings in. So when you go into a house, you're spending most of your time in a certain area. If that template is not suitable for you, it will create a conflict in you.
But part of it is knowing what you need.
Yes.
Right? Because there are some times where you'll walk in and you'll say that, you know what, I didn't like the vibe of this house. But you can't picture it. You can't say what it was.
What it was. So
right? And we were talking about that the other day, like where certain houses get, like, have a nice vibe from even outside, and some houses just look not so
the
nice.
look of it, actually, if I get like 2 minutes, I'll tell you a story where it really, it goes on, which will help you too, actually. What we try to do is, we try to always bring sadness to the person who is already sad. We never try to bring sadness to a person who's beautiful looking and everything is nice, right? Like, for example, if you take it in considering a house thing, right? You have some furniture to be dumped in. Now you need to put it in front of something. You saw one house which is a little broken, one house which is beautiful, it's nicely landscaped and all. You won't go and put your dump thing right across the big house.
That's right.
Which is nicely
that's
decorated.
Natural, right.
You will try to...
It'll scar the beauty.
Exactly. That's how it is. If you try and see, the minute you start showing sadness, you will feel that there is nothing else in the world which will make you happy. There is more problems that you are attracting towards yourself. While when you are, even if you are sad, you try to portray yourself that to be happy. You try to revive yourself in some other way. It can be music, it can be meditation, it can be anything.
Right.
But the minute you try to show yourself that you are nice and calm, you are beautiful, you are things...
You'll attract that energy.
Yes. People will not try to hurt you.
Yes.
Right,
there's a saying, right? You put out in the universe, and the universe gives that back to you.
Exactly. The Secret movie, right? Exactly. That's how it works.
Yeah.
If you are portraying that you are the person who is always in trouble, don't worry, the trouble will find you
The
again.
trouble will find you.
Yes.
You shall seek it.
Yeah, so that works with the house too. So when you start seeing negative energy building up in the house, there are constant fights going on, so you are attracting more of those. Okay. Now where Vastu plays in,
color therapy can change that?
yes. So if you're, for example, if your fire element is disturbed, it will give you an aggressive nature.
Got it.
Okay, so when you try to do the elemental balance, you try to bring in other colors into your picture.
So if someone calls you and they say, okay, you know what, this is the problem we're having, by that you will know which part is imbalanced?
That's where the astro part comes in.
Okay, got it.
So based on when they are calling me and what problem they are telling me, I will be able to find out from the current moment as to what is the element is imbalance in them and what direction and what object might be there. So in some cases, I even can figure out the object, what is there in it.
Wow.
Which is causing an imbalance.
Like the block. That's the object that's causing the block.
Yeah. So like a couple of clients that I did recently actually had an issue in a certain zone of them, and they were having money crisis. All I asked them is, do you have a lot of Ganeshjis kept in your southeast corner? And this lady says, yes, I have 3 of them. And I'm like, please remove them. It actually resolved her issue in 2 days. So it's sometimes
But it depended on what time she asked you the question. It's not that everyone who has a lot of Ganeshjis can do that. Please don't run and remove all the Ganeshjis from your house.
Yes.
It depends on what she tells you and
element
when she
is
tells you.
affecting you specifically.
Exactly, yeah.
And that moment actually has that answer to that question itself. So
wow.
it can be done.
That's awesome. So it's when people ask you, but you have remedies which are simple as removing the Ganeshji.
Yes. The remedies are super simple. Anything that you can order from any websites and it'll be delivered. Yeah.
Rshmi, we were talking about decluttering initially.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other tips that people can do? Some generic tips, because a lot of them are focused to the time when people call.
Yeah.
So not necessarily advice you can give to everyone, but
Yeah.
what are some generic tips that you can give to people?
Okay. So some of the things that which I already mentioned, right? That if the house looks pretty from outside, you will always attract positive vibes. So your house should be clutter free from outside. It should look pretty from outside. Get the landscaping done. Get the house fixed if you have any issues.
So maintenance. You bought a home, maintain that home, and that's important because the vibe that your home creates from outside is going to carry through inside.
Exactly.
Right?
Now, the other things that you can do is when you are getting the house cleaned, do make sure you do the salt water mopping, which will actually cleanse the energy of the house.
Oh, so mop it with salt water.
Yes.
Oh.
You can put some rock salt into the water and just clean it out with the house with that, which will actually, you will feel the freshness.
Wow.
Do put in some fresh flowers in the house in a specific direction. I'll cover those details. But somewhere close to your east, if you put fresh flowers, it brings in freshness in your life. If you can actually declutter regarding the Ganeshjis that we talked about, right? Some people have the goddesses things all over the house. And the first thing I go to anybody's house is, can you start removing them, because we end up putting it into the wrong templates again. If I say we put it in the wrong energy zones, they start giving the wrong results. So we don't treat them as the decorative piece.
They're Bhavanjis.
Yes, they are. If you don't believe in it and you're not praying to it, it's fine. But if you're having like hundreds of them in the house and people keep them in the showcase, don't treat them as a decor. Okay, because they are there, the 3D remedies actually give out some results. So you don't want to put them in the wrong areas of the house.
So what about people who don't believe in Vastu? What about the skeptics?
The skeptics, as I mentioned, right, that if you are not throwing the 5 elements balancing in your house, if you're doing it within yourself, you will automatically start doing that for your house. So if you're not doing it, do meditate for 10 minutes at least in a day. If not, then try to find your favorite music, listen to it for 10 days to relax yourself, bring down to a better brain frequency.
To ground yourself in a day.
Yes, to ground ourselves in a day. Or any kind of a technique that you can follow in which you are balancing your thing. They say that if you have a good appetite, if you are eating healthy food, your thought process also gets changed based on it.
So the sattvic bhojan that they talk about.
Sattvic bhojan. If you are eating more of your greens, if you're eating a healthy diet, not more processed diets and stuff. If you're eating not from the fridge, but you're actually cooking and eating it right away, that kind of. So when people start doing that also, they start seeing the elements getting balanced within their body.
But I would assume that when you start changing some Vastu, you start leading this type of a lifestyle, right? Because
So
it's a circle.
Yeah. So if I might have say, I did change my habits a little. So I do meditate daily. I do my chakra cleaning every day. So because again, the chakras, the 7 chakras, the 5 of those chakras are actually your 5 elements.
Yes.
So when you're cleaning it up, so there's different ways to get to the 5 elements.
Right.
But
now for the believers, skeptics, we're saying, okay, they may have automatically cleanse themselves.
Yeah, means they say, okay, if we pray to God and we don't need to do it.
So they have to first identify the problem or call you and say, this is how I'm feeling. For someone we're going to be discussing an episode with kids' illnesses or illnesses in general, but whatever the problem is, they will call you with a problem.
Yes.
And then you, at that time, what is your course of action from there?
So normally the first thing that I ask them is for the floor plan.
Okay. Of
So
the house.
Of the house.
Okay.
If you have the floor plan, it's kind of the horoscope of your house itself,
Right, of course.
which tells you what activities you have in different areas. Definitely I need to visit the house, and I need the pictures of the house, which will tell me whether the colors are balanced.
Right.
Because that you won't get to know from the floor plan.
Right.
Floor plan will actually tell me where the kitchen is, where the toilets are, where are you sleeping and stuff like that. How's their bed position and stuff. Because all these definitely matter a lot, saying whether the templates that you are getting downloaded with are actually relevant with the things. Or are there certain areas in your house which you are cluttering and you have kept the storage in the wrong zones. And when you keep the storage in the wrong zones, there's energies, you will start seeing issues with that particular area of life.
Wow, okay.
So
you get the floor plan?
I get the floor plan. I try to go a little mile ahead, and I get their birth details too, to find out whether
the astro
to bring in the astro part in it, to find out whether they are actually using up the right space.
Got it.
So like the kids problem that you said, which I would say majority of the clients do ask, where should my kids study?
That's right. Or sleep.
Means it's all very kid centric, and me myself I have 2 of them, so I exactly know what they are talking about and what needs do they have. So if the kids sit in a certain direction, then which we can cover it in a specific topic, because we need to elaborate more on how to increase the focus and how to reduce the distractions. But if we keep items in a certain directions, if we keep their bed in a certain directions, if you are studying in a certain direction, it will actually increase the focus, because now we are again altering the thought process. The best part with Vastu is, if say I am doing all this body cleansing, I am balancing my 5 elements as well as I'm balancing the house. Now my kids are not doing the 5 element balance, right? They end up eating a lot of junk.
They eat outside.
Yeah, they eat outside, and or your other spouse is not able to do that. But if we try to do the balancing of the house, it benefits all of them.
Because it's balancing the residents.
It's balancing. So their thought process starts changing. And I have seen a big difference with my own kids. Like books were like, oh, I don't want to get to it. But now we have to tell her, okay, time out. You have to stop reading and go to sleep, right?
Nice.
You see that change happening.
Nice.
So it's like very small techniques of where you keep your bookcase. Right?
And colors.
And the colors, yes.
Yeah, so small little changes can lead to...
Small little changes.
And bring your life back on track. So these are very nice...
Exactly.
Very simple
techniques. And that's what you will be surprised. And I see that with clients. Oh, that's it. I just have to put a certain color doormat and I'm done.
Yeah, I keep repeating the simplicity of it because that to me is the most important, because not a scare tactic. Vastu is not a scary word, right?
It's very scientific. It's very scientific. If that way, then you should be scared of yoga too. You should be scared of medicines too. I like Ayurveda specifically. If all these were done by 5 element theory, Vastu can also be done with 5 element theory, which will bring in a blissful life.
Right. And the best thing is that Rshmi saying the Vastu is not a necessity, right? It's not for everyone. If your elements are balanced,
Yeah.
you don't need it. If something is not broken, don't fix it. But if it is broken, there are
and you are
simple
struggling
reasons.
with it, I would
Yeah.
say don't stay with it for too long. You can always consult
Yeah.
the right person to get the results.
Yeah, a small consultation will get you the right results. Vastu is not for, if it's not broken, don't fix it. And what Rshmi is saying is, if it is broken, it's not going to cost you an arm and a leg to fix. She can look at it, she can talk to you, she can consult with you, and give you remedies that are very easy for you to do.
Yeah.
With that, we're going to be ending soon. But before ending, Rshmi, what is your tip for the day for our clients?
Definitely. A lot of people have a question about money, right?
Yes.
Money is like everything for most of them. So here's the tip for people who are looking forward or having a money crunch, okay? Anything blue in your southeast corner will affect your money. You will see money-related issues coming up. So if you remove the blues from the southeast corner, it will help you a lot.
And if you do this remedy and it makes a difference, drop us a line at manatV's Facebook page, inbox us. We'd love to hear if small little tips can make a difference in your life. We look forward to having you guys back next week again for another episode of Vastu with Rshmi. Thank you for tuning in.